G'day, I'm Peter Fritz and welcome back to Landscape Photography in 3 minutes. In this, the 13th episode in this series, we're going to talk about something that I think you should buy instead of the next lens. If you followed me for a little while, you'll know that I have really taken to landscape photography with a drone. I'm on my third drone now, the DJI Air 2S. Couldn't really justify the Mavic 3 Pro. I don't think the difference in image quality between the Air 2S and the 3 is warranted for the extra spend. But I want to cover off 5 specific reasons why I think you should consider buying yourself a quality drone instead of another lens. And we kick off with reason number 1, which is a drone is the ultimate tripod. In Australia, you can fly up to 120 meters above the height from which you took off, and that provides you with enormous scope for incredible photos. Now, while the temptation might be to get up nice and high, shoot straight down, get some interesting patterns and textures and lines and shapes, and to see the world from a view that we're not used to seeing, that's all wonderful. But I see a drone as a way to get up, say, 20 feet off the ground, to get an elevation that you just couldn't get unless you had a very tall ladder and a very tall tripod. Sometimes it's just a few feet above the highest level that you can go with a tripod that gets you an extraordinarily different photo. Now, yes, you can get above structures that you would not be able to get above unless you had a helicopter, and a drone is fantastic for that, being able to get up above, say, for example, Hanging Rock. When I filmed that a little while ago, there's no other way I could get those photos unless I hired a helicopter, which of course wouldn't be possible, would be cost prohibitive, all those kinds of things. But with a drone, those things open up an incredible world of opportunity simply because a drone is like the ultimate tripod. The second reason why I reckon you should consider a drone over a new lens is a drone allows you to recompose your images very, very quickly. When you are composing landscape photography images with a tripod or even just handheld, it requires you to move physically your body around, to clamber over things, to walk perhaps through difficult obstacles, those kinds of things. But with a drone, you can change your composition in so many different ways in every axis. Basically, you can go up, down, left, right. You can go through things that you couldn't otherwise go through. You can look straight ahead, or you can tilt the camera down. It's phenomenal. And with DJI's new Mini 3 Pro, is it Pro? I think so. With DJI's new Mini 3, for example, you can actually tilt the camera up quite a bit because of the way they position the sensors, allowing the camera to move up and down a lot more than the other drones like the Air 2S, like the one I've got. So it allows you to recompose your shots in myriad different ways very quickly and very efficiently. It's just brilliant. It really is brilliant. The third reason, and this is a big one for me, especially in the areas where I shoot, is you can get into places that you couldn't otherwise get. A lot of the photography that I do tends to be across private property. Where I live in Victoria, there are a lot of farm properties, and unlike other parts of the world where you have the automatic right to move through farms, through private properties like that, we can't do that here in Australia. So being able to actually fly over the fence line of a farm and get beautiful images of rolling hills and the sunset and bodies of water and that kind of thing is fantastic. Another thing too is there are areas where it's just too difficult or dangerous to get down to a specific spot that you want to shoot. And with a drone, it's easy. You just simply fly down to that location and you can position your camera exactly where you want it. It's just awesome. And that leads us on to number 4. Using a drone to photograph in difficult locations, like I just mentioned, reduces the risk of injury. If you wanted to, for example, photograph a crevasse or a gully down a stream looking towards a waterfall or something, whatever, it could be very difficult and subsequently dangerous to clamber down there with all your gear and your tripod and all that sort of stuff. And you might get stuck down there. I mean, there's all sorts of risks to wild photography out in remote areas. But with a drone, you can simply send the drone in there and capture images with that rather than risk breaking your neck and falling down a gully. And the final reason, the fifth reason, is A drone allows you to get a perspective that you just cannot get with any lens. The reality is, no matter how much you spend on glass, there are certain things that you just simply cannot capture with a traditional camera. There are certain perspectives that you cannot illustrate, stories that you cannot tell with a normal camera and any lens attached to a normal camera. A drone allows you to fly between obstacles. It allows you to get up a little higher than you otherwise could. It allows you to go down into areas that are otherwise inaccessible. It allows you to capture a massive vista using, for example, the automatic panoramic photography features in a lot of the drones available today to capture a scene in a way that would just be impossible with any other lens, any other camera combination. So a quality drone allows you to get perspectives on a landscape. I mean, I've photographed certain areas fairly close to home with different lenses and different cameras and from different positions, but the moment I got a drone and flew it up over those areas and just simply got up 40, 50 feet up above those subjects, they looked completely different. The perspective that it gave me was completely unique, and it was just so exciting. It's a bit like when you get a new sound system and you grab your, favorite albums and start playing them through this new system, and it's like you've just bought them again for the first time. Or you get a brand new TV, a big TV, and you start watching your favorite movies on that again. It's like seeing them for the first time. And this is exactly what it's been like for me, photographing some of my favorite locations with a drone. I don't have to get up 100 meters in the air to get something truly unique. Just being able to get 20, 30, 40 feet above the deck with the wide lens of my drone and photograph it with that has been really, really satisfying, very rewarding. So that's my tip. Instead of buying a new lens, consider getting yourself a quality drone. Anything from DJI is going to be great. Anything from the Mini 2 upwards is going to be able to shoot 4K and decent resolution images. If image quality is really important to you, then I would be looking at something like the Mini 3 Pro, the Air 2S, or the 3 Pro. But like I said, the Air 2S with its true 24 megapixel sensor is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Anyway, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please do give it a thumbs up. It actually helps. And subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now. For more on this subject, just click here.